2, 1.
Let the games begin.
We haven't had a Jurassic Park or World movie in far too long. It's been at least 3 minutes since the last one. That being said, are you ready for some
Dino DNA?
This weekend gives us the end of Oak Street, or as I call it, Jurassic Suburb. Producer J.J. Abrams is still desperately trying to be considered as the next Steven Spielberg, even as he's been passed by directors like Denis Villeneuve, Zach Cregger, and Christopher Nolan. This movie is part of that campaign, but does this Spielberg wannabe succeed with this movie? Find out on this episode of Movies Merica Live.
In a world where the number of movies available is great, but many are so bad, you'll learn a new definition of hate. One man sifts and reviews through the movie sludge. One man will be the movie cop, jury, and judge. He goes by many names, but you know him by Movies Merica.
All right, everybody. Hey, welcome here to this latest episode of Movies Merica Live. And as always, I'm your humble host, Van Ebert, a.k.a. Movies Merica. And first and foremost, I want to welcome my movie maniacs and my fellow freedom-fueled film fanatics out there. All right, you guys know who you are. You are the movie fans that don't like to just watch movies. You like to discuss movies. You like to talk movies, all right? You like to get into a dialogue. Okay, there we go. You like to have a conversation, as they say nowadays, here about things. And this is the show for you. And to that point there, my movie maniacs and my fellow freedom-fueled film fanatics, the live chat on Rumble and YouTube is for you. Okay, that is going to give you the opportunity to talk about our movie for today, The End of Oak Street. Okay, and this is the movie that I think this is a movie that will produce some discussion, good or bad, or somewhere in the middle. Okay, and so yes, this is the show for you to get in the live chat, ask questions, make comments, make statements. Basically just straight up tell me if you hate this show, love the show, somewhere in between. I can take it all. I love it. I love that. I love the engagement there in the live chat. So, and then also, hey, feel free to not hog all the Movies Merica for yourself, okay? Feel free to send the link to this episode to anybody that you even remotely suspects is into movies at all. Doesn't even need to be The End of Oak Street, just any movie whatsoever, okay? So, all right, I belabored that point long enough right there. And so, yes, we're going to get into some End of Oak Street, which was produced by J.J. Abrams, as I mentioned in the open there, that he is the wannabe Steven Spielberg. And, back at some point, he was considered, to be the guy that's going to be coronated as the next Spielberg. But then he kind of blew it with just, his movies just not doing that great along the as time went on. So, and then also this movie is written and directed by David Robert Mitchell, who also directed the far better It Follows and Under the Silver Lake there. It's actually, the movie's called Under the Silver Lake. But be warned, Under the Silver Lake is a little weird. But in a good way, okay? So now you may not have gotten that impression from that little brief little clip from Under the Silver Lake there, but yeah, it's weird because there's good weird, right? There's good weird and there's bad weird, and this is good weird. It's one of those movies where you have to discipline yourself to stick with it, and then the payoff at the end and just the overall journey of the movie is well worth it. Okay, but we're not here to talk about Under the Silver Lake. There, that's another David Robert Mitchell movie here. But we're here to talk about The End of Oak Street, and that stars Anne Hathaway, Ewan McGregor, and not really anybody else of any kind of recognized star power or anything like that. So I mean, they're the ones. They're the stars of the movie. I don't know why I'm saying quotes because let's give Anne Hathaway and Ewan McGregor their due. People know who they are. So yes, they are stars, not A-listers or anything like that. So although Anne Hathaway does have a Best Actress Oscar, Ewan McGregor hasn't even been nominated for an Oscar. So there you go. But yes, and then also, I mean, and then in addition to all of those, Ewan McGregor and Anne Hathaway, it basically stars a bunch of nobodies, really. Okay, so and the plot. Let's talk about the plot. Okay, and when I say I'm going to talk about the plot, I'm not going to talk about the plot in depth. Okay, not at all. I'm not trying to spoil this movie whatsoever. So, but the plot is that it takes place back in 1982 in a suburb that contains, of course, Oak Street, right? Hence the name of the movie. And it starts off innocent enough, they're having a little, a little block party, in this suburb. They're all barbecuing out and chilling out and relaxing as neighbors. And, hey, Bob, how you doing? Hey, can I get that weed whacker from you? Hey, Jennifer, I love that. Oh, that 7-layer salad you made is so delicious. Oh, I love that. Yeah. Hey, how's your boy doing in football there, Harold? Oh, doing real good. So a lot of neighborhood conversations going on, with this block party. And then, but during this block party scene, it's communicated to you that Denise, who's played by Anne Hathaway, and then Greg, who's played by Ewan McGregor, their husband and wife, they're having some marital problems, okay? And it's kind of a cliche, just with a lot of movies right there, husband and wife not playing nice together in the sandbox, okay? And then they have a couple of kids. They have a son and daughter, and the son and daughter are, of course, seeing their parents argue, or they're worried about their parents getting a divorce, right? Okay. So just normal life, an unfortunate part of life, right? So, and then later on into the movie here, not long after the beginning here, they start seeing this weird phenomenon, like it's not lightning, but like it's this overwhelming light that shows up in the sky that lights up the entire sky, like in the middle of the night there, and it makes everyone's ears pop. And after that happens, they start seeing kind of weird things happening in the neighborhood. They're like, whoa, is that, what kind of creature is that over there? Like, what? I've never seen a creature like that. What's going on? Or hey, how did this plant pop up in my yard right here? This plant is looks like it's something from like the Jurassic period. It's not even supposed to be able to be grown in this area. Like, what's all this weird stuff that's happening? And then they have another occurrence of a big bright light that lights up the whole night sky, right? And then even more weird stuff happens. Then eventually they start seeing dinosaurs running all over the place, and then basically their neighborhood basically turns into Jurassic Park. Okay, and so we have all these suburbanites like having to try to survive all these dinosaurs running around and all of that stuff right there. So, and a lot of
Dino DNA
running around in this neighborhood. Okay, so will they live? Will they die? Stay tuned to this movie to find out. Is basically the plot of the rest of this movie here. So, and again, I'm not going to go into any more of the plot than that right there. You get the idea. That's the jumping off point of the movie. So nothing else needs to be said right there. But actually, I see my buddy Unfolding Joker in the live chat on the Rumble side, and he says, "Let's get it." And you know what? You're right. Let's get it. And by it, I personally mean my brewski over here. So there you go. Got this big grain silo size tall boy here of brewski right here. That's good stuff right there. So yeah, Unfolding Joker, hopefully you're hoisting some kind of tasty beverage for yourself. And thanks for joining the show. Good to see you here. And let me double check something real quick here as well. I'm going to try to do some multitasking here. Let me do this real quick. All right. Let's do that right there. Do this right here. And then we're going to talk some more. Let me do this real quick. All right, there we go. There we go. All right, so make sure I got that going on there. Nice. Okay, so I wanted to turn something on over here for the show. Right there. Everything, trying to cross my T's and dot my I's. Excuse me. As far as all of that goes, right there. So, all right, and let's double check information here. I think we're good to go. We're ready to move on with some more of the end of Oak Street. Okay, and so a long time ago, dinosaurs, of course, were at the top of the food chain, right? I mean, fast forward to 1982, and humans were actually at the top of the food chain. I mean, we're not talking about a long time ago. We're not talking about millions of years ago. We're talking about 1982, and humans were at the top of the food chain, at least in suburban America. I can't talk about the Serengeti or the rainforest right there. And the end of Oak Street upends all that as a unknown phenomenon transports this suburban neighborhood back to a dinosaur-filled era. Now, humans, like in the Jurassic movies and Peter Jackson's King Kong, humans are just delicious snack food for these dinos. Now, I will say that this movie does have a couple of good creepy dino moments, like when the family is discussing something in a yard, like right in the middle of all the action. I mean, like everything has been revealed. The dinosaur danger is well known, and they're trying to get away from the dinosaurs. They're trying to get out of this neighborhood here. And while they're discussing something in someone's backyard there, you see this Allosaurus, this dinosaur, quietly in the background, just kind of sneaking up on them, all quiet like. So that was a creepy moment. Or they have a scene where we have this disgusting, massive, prehistoric white snake. Apologies, David Coverdale. If you know, you know. This big white snake thing that snuck through the window of the Platt house, and the Platts are the family, Anne Hathaway, Ewan McGregor, that are our main characters in this. But the snake sneaks through a window in their house and slithers through the house looking for its first victim. Okay, so those are a couple of creepy moments in the movie. So, and this movie, it also has, for a PG-13 movie, surprisingly disturbing depiction of dino violence when some Ramphorhynchus, if I'm saying that right, or Ramphorhynchus, these dinosaur names really just throw me for a loop. These almost impossible to pronounce right there. But these, like the flying dinosaurs, not the pterodactyls, but it's like some other kind of flying dinosaur, attacks a neighbor on their rooftop. And the scene where this neighbor is getting attacked and basically killed, it's brutal, with the neighbor's anguish cries, of pain and fear of death. I mean, it's hardcore, man. And speaking of really pushing that PG-13 rating, there's a completely irrelevant scene where Denise and Greg, they come upon some dinosaurs actually doing it.
Dino DNA.
And it's like Denise even has like Greg pose in front of them to, get a Polaroid pic. Because remember, this takes place in 1982. So Polaroids are still a big thing back then, right? So have fun, parents, explaining that scene to the kiddos after you leave the theater, after your kids are subjugated to a scene of a couple of dinosaurs getting down, baby. Yeah. All right. So yeah, you're gonna have to you might have to do a little splating to the children's after you leave the theater, something like children, when a stegosaurus loves another stegosaurus very much. Okay. Now, that all being said, the end of Oak Street amounts to just a retread of better movies, like particularly better 80s movies like Poltergeist, E.T., The Goonies, Jumanji, and most of the Jurassic movies, okay? It has uninteresting characters, action sequence involving getting chased by dinosaurs that we've seen way too many times before in numerous movies. It also plops in a stupid, unnecessary subplot about a kid wanting to kill Brian, and Brian is like the son in the family there for Brian breaking his brother's arm, because I guess to the director, writer, this sounded like a subplot that would be in an 80s movie. Now, speaking of Brian, it's laughable that they keep trying to make him using his little toy bow and arrow against these gigantic dinosaurs a thing, because, particularly back in the 80s, probably in the 70s too, like, a common Christmas gift that boys would get was like this little play kind of bow and arrow set there. And now they don't have enough pressure to really like do any kind of damage or anything like that. I mean, they hurt. I mean, but yeah, it doesn't have like this pressure to like a compound bow does on it to really like take down something like a dinosaur or a bear or a lion or something like that. So now I will say that this movie does a good job at depicting 1982 with the houses and cars and goofy fashion of that time. I mean, for God's sakes, Greg, pull down your gym socks. My God. All right. So here we go. All right. Let's move on.
Dino DNA.
Okay. Real quick here, just want to remind you that, hey, with this show here, just like any YouTube or Rumble show, there is a like button, okay? And that like button is right on down there. So if you would click on that like button right there, it doesn't cost you a thing. It costs you like 0.01 seconds to do that, all right? And then also there's a follow or subscribe button also down there. If you would click on that, if you haven't already, okay? And then there's a notification bell button there that if you would click on that, again, only if you haven't already. And that notification bell, all that means is you're just going to get like just one lowly email a week letting you know that there is a brand new, piping hot, fresh, delicious new episode of Movies Merica coming hot out of the oven for you. Okay, so, but it's just one email. Don't worry, you're not going to get spammed or anything like that. So, because I know I hate that too. Or I hate it when people spam me. So I don't want to be the guy that spams other people. Not at all. Okay. So, and then as I mercifully get ready to wrap up this segment right here, because people hate this segment. But real quick, I just want to talk to the viewers of this episode here that didn't have a chance to watch it live. You're watching the recording of it. First off, thank you for watching. It means a lot to me. Okay. And second of all, we can still communicate back and forth with each other. I mean, we can't do it via the live chat, obviously, because you're not watching live. But we can use the comments section to talk back and forth with each other. And that comments section is just down right on down there. Okay, so right on down there below. No, I'm not pointing at my crotch. I'm pointing down below the screen that you see my mug on right now. So yeah, please get in the comment section, comment about whatever you like. Let me know if you love the show, hate the show, somewhere in between. Let me know if you hate it, what do you hate about it? If you love it, what do you love about it? Suggestions on what you think I could do to make it better, stuff like that. So, push come to shove, I can't stop you from commenting about whatever you want in the comment section. And I do look at the comment section. And so fear not, don't think like you're commenting for nothing and I'll never see it. I do check out the comment section regularly. So there you go. All right, let's move on.
Dino DNA.
Okay, so what should we talk about next year? Well, I think we should talk about some more the end of Oak Street, don't you? I think so. So let's do this here real quick here. Let me do this here. I just want to, before we get into the end of Oak Street a little bit more, I want to try this here. All right. Let's do this. All right, doing that. I appreciate you guys tolerating me multitasking over here. And fret not, we will be getting more into the movie right here. Absolutely. So, okay, there we go. All right. So more the end of Oak Street to talk about here. And Anne Hathaway as Denise is propped up as the leading character in this over Ewan McGregor as Greg, who is basically demoted to unemployment cuck boy who has to deliver pizzas as a middle-aged man to support his family. And, even back in the 80s, that would have been like a very embarrassing, very humbling thing for a middle-aged man to have to do. Okay. And Greg is always asking Denise questions like, should we drink the milk before it goes bad? Instead of being an assertive man like his family would be counting on him to be in a time of crisis. He's basically a woman with stubble. Okay. Just to be, right to the point with it. Okay. Now, in contrast, Denise is portrayed as a woman supposedly just above it all, who just has to put up with Greg's infantile thinking and behavior. In fairness, just to tell the whole picture, at the end of, or to help tell the whole story, there we go. There we go. Right there. That dynamic does have a major transformation. So that's good. That's good. Okay, so I just want to be all-encompassing here. Narcissistic feminazi gone. Selfless wife/mother present and accounted for. Too bad it took something tragic to bring this into being, though. Now, at the beginning of the movie, there's a neighborhood block party going on, like I was talking about earlier, complete with Pat Benatar's, Hit Me With Your Best Shot from 1980 playing in the background. And during this, Greg says he has to go make some pizza deliveries to make some money for the family since he got laid off from his auto plant job. And Denise nags at him that he promised he'd spend the day with the family, even though prior to that in the movie, he's shown spending time with the family at the block party. It's not only a cliched family dynamic and scenario, we've seen in many movies from husband and wife characters before. It's just more emasculation of the husband figure, which is not only allowed in movies for the last 20 plus years, but is enthusiastically encouraged. It is kind of fun seeing Ewan McGregor having to deal, with his role being written like this, given the fact that in real life, he's a down on his knees, chapstick at the ready, slave to the woke mind virus in real life. This couldn't be happening to a nicer guy, all right? Now, the rest of the cast is pretty by the numbers and bland. Brian and Audrey are just cookie-cutter kids. Well, until the end, as far as Audrey goes, but I'll get to that later. Let's just say her character is going to love Melissa Etheridge. I'll just put it that way. So say no more. I'm not going to give you any more hints than that. All right. So time to move on.
Dino DNA.
All right. So, hey, we got my buddy Bane of the Shills in here in the live chat. All right. And good to see you, sir, in the live chat right there. And yeah, Bane of the Shills, look up that name on Rumble, and then I think YouTube as well. Correct me if I'm wrong there, Bane of the Shills. But yeah, Rumble and YouTube, look up Bane of the Shills and check out all of his great shows there as well. So, but good to see you here in the live chat. Appreciate that there. So what should we do next here? What should we do next? You know what I think we should do next is I'm getting a little thirsty. All right. I'm getting a little thirsty. I'm getting a little parched because sitting here on my keister talking about movies, it's hard work. It's thirsty work. Okay. So, I mean, those guys that are working in coal mines got nothing on this guy right here. I'm putting in major labor over here. All right. So I think with that, it's time for a little brew review time. All right, let me grab the brewski for today. And there we go. There we go right there. That's a big boy. Little big boy right there. Classic lime beer called Garage Beer. And this comes to us from Braxton Brewing Company in Cincinnati, Ohio. All right. So, and this is a refreshing small batch light lager. And it's definitely got a lot of lime in it. Okay. So, not too much lime, not enough to like make you gag or anything like that. So, but it's definitely got that lime theme to it as well. So, and it's brewed with 100% Pilsner malt and subtle Magnum hops here. There you go. So We're talking about big, large size hops, if you know what I'm saying. They're magnum hops, all right? And it comes to us at a alcohol by volume percentage of 4%, okay? And now, as far as like how does it taste, because that's the most important thing, right? So with this here, since this is just a light lager, all right, it's not going to overpower you on the first sip or on the first drink, okay? So, and it's got this kind of light, like kind of a crackery malted white bread flavor right up the front, right there. So, and the lime flavor, like I said, it's got enough in there where you definitely notice it here. So it's front loaded and prominent when you do drink this particular brew right here. So, and a lot of drinkers like they basically compare it like you're drinking a Corona with a lime dropped right into the Corona there, which may sound gross to some people. I dig that. I like that. Like getting a Corona and try to squeeze as much lime juice as I possibly can into the Corona right there. So now if you enjoy like mass market beers like Bud Light Lime or Mexican lagers, like Corona or Modelo, with some lime right there, then this sucker is going to be for you, and especially in a mass quantities like this grain silo, size, tall boy that I've got right here. So I'm recommending this. It's I don't normally recommend a whole lot of things out of Ohio since I'm a Michigan fan here, but this one is an exception to the rule, and so I'm a fan of this right here. And so with that being said, since I'm recommending this here, like I said before, I'm getting parched, I'm getting thirsty, and I'm going to take a drink off this bad boy right here. It's good stuff. And I'm going to set that down right there because that is doing some major sweating. Okay. So, and since I am recommending this brew right here, I'm actually going to give you some good food pairings to go with this right here. So as far as like, foods that you could pair well with that particular brew right there, it goes good with like Mexican street food, like grilled shrimp tacos, chicken enchiladas, carnitas. You get like fresh seafood, like raw oysters. I'm personally not a fan of raw oysters, but if you are, by all means, hey, maybe you believe that they're like an aphrodisiac and you're trying to entertain your lady, with some raw oysters or something like that. Hey, wash those down with some brew right here. Probably more likely in that scenario, you're probably going to be washing them down with some champagne, that kind of thing. All right, but anyway. It goes good with like spicy foods as well, like Buffalo Wild Wings. Well, it would go good with a number of things at Buffalo Wild Wings, but Buffalo wings, jalapeno poppers, spicy Thai noodles there. Goes good with fish and chips, French fries, loaded nachos. Goes good with like backyard barbecue stuff like smash burgers, ribs, brisket, pulled pork sandwiches. Oh, you are not lacking on food pairings to go along with this brew right here. Okay, so now as far as like how do you get your hands on this brew right here, especially like if if you live nowhere near Cincinnati, Ohio. Okay, well, if that's your situation, okay, like say you live in Punta Gorda, Florida, right, nowhere near Cincinnati, Ohio. Well, you'll have to go to someplace like gopuff.com and get your hands on the beer right there. Through gopuff.com, like I said. Now, you are going to be paying. You're going to be spending some scratch to get that beer in your hands, but they will get that beer in your hand right there. Gopuff.com. It's kind of like Goldbelly. I don't know if you ever gone to goldbelly.com and overpaid big time to get like some Chicago deep dish pizza, like freeze dried and delivered to your house right there. So, or you pay like $100 for like 4 lobster rolls, and they come to you and they're like this big. There you go. So, So, but GoPuff.com, they will get this beer in your hand. It's just it's gonna cost you. Okay, there you go. It's gonna make a dent in your old bank account, that's for sure. So, but you will get it in your hands. Now, if you live in Ohio, just simply go to Uber Eats or go to like Open Bar. Open Bar is an app on your phone there as well. Or get up off your keister, jump in your car, and just be a man, be an adult, and just go get the beer from the grocery store or from a nearby convenience store or something like that. My God, stop being lazy. All right. I should probably point that advice on myself sometimes. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah. So enough about that. Just want to let you know about this brew that I'm reviewing here today. This garage beer from Braxton Brewing in Cincinnati, Ohio. All right. So hopefully you guys can get your hands on some of that because I don't want to hog all this beer for myself. But with that, let's wrap up this brew review time. All right. What should we do next? Well, you know what I think we should do next is I need to let you guys know about something here. Let's do this here real quick. All right. Need to get you guys in the know about something right here. And to that end, let's do this. Do that, do this, do that, do that, do this, do this, do that, do that. All right, do that over there. All right. And let's do that. There we go. So I just wanted to show you the Movies Merica merch website real quick here. And the link to the Movies Merica merch website is down in the description. All right. So very easy to get to. All right. For everyone there, if you do decide you want to get your hands on some Movies Merica merch. All right. And as you see, we've got, we got shirts, we've got hats, we've got drinkware. We got different styles of logos for all the merch there as well. So starting off, we've got the big mugs style of Movies Merica logo here. And like you said, or like I said, I should say, we've got the big mugs camo trucker hat here. That's embroidered. Just to let you know, there's no purple on this hat. So I know I'm just as disappointed as you with that, but no purple on that hat. Although we've requested it, but they can't. I guess that's just too difficult for the company. Or maybe purple like thread is like just one of those, rare things. It's so rare now with all the supply chain issues, from COVID and shutting down the economy and all that stuff. So I don't know. But point being is there's no purple on that hat there, okay? But we do have like purple on the other items there, as you see with that Big Mugs t-shirts. Got a woman's t-shirt, got a different like an all-over print t-shirt option right here. We got tank tops. We got a baseball long sleeve shirt here, hoodies, windbreakers. Even have a sports bra there as well. If you want to represent Movies Merica at the gym or at the beach or wherever, okay? So, and then we also have some Big Mugs, Movies Merica logo hats here as well. And you can get them in all kinds of different colors there as well. So if you click in here and, you can choose different colors of the hat there. I mean, get it in that color right there and this right up over there. So obviously, like with any site like this, in this case, that's a bad example. There's one size for the hat, but you can choose the different sizes here for the shirts and all of that stuff right there. So, you guys have been to a website, to buy clothes and all that stuff. You guys know how it works. I don't have to explain it to you there in too much depth. And then our next suite, that's word. Next group of merch. Here we go. We'll put it simply like that. Is for the Holly Weird style of Movies Merica merch here. This is the logo here with the camera and the two beer mugs. And so as you see, we got different types of t-shirts and tank tops and hoodies and windbreakers for that. And then last but not least here, as far as the clothing goes, we have the Black Adam style of Movies Merica logo. And that's the Black Adam logo here with the little like the molten lava kind of thing, the molten steel to it there. I think it looks metal. That's why the Black Adam logo is my personal favorite logo there. So, but yeah, you get the idea right there as far as the different types of gear, different types of clothes that you can get with the various logos there as well. Now, you might be saying here now, hey, Van, I've got all the Movies Merica gear I can handle, man, and my closet is full, all right? I even got the sports bra because, my lady's in shape, and she can pull off the sports bra, okay? But what I need now is, I like coffee in the morning, but it just doesn't taste as well. tastes as good as I want that coffee to taste right there. But I think what would enhance the flavor is if there was a Movie America's coffee mug that I could drink my morning coffee out of, man. Please, please, my brother, please, Movies America, please hook me up. Well, friend, get ready to be happy because, boy, do we have a Movies America mug, coffee mug for you. Look at that beauty, all right there. Check that out, all right? And we also have a can-shaped glass. We have a pint glass there with Movies America on there. We got the koozies, different types of koozies there as well. And then we also have desk mats here if you want to add some sophistication, some class to your workstation. That will hook you up with that right there. And we've got price reductions here. We've got savings here. We're slashing prices here at Movies Merica merch, so the Movies Merica merch website. So check all that out. And again, like I said, the link to this website that you're looking at right now is down in the description right there. So yes, if you would please go ahead and check that out. And Movies Merica merch and like all that stuff, it makes great gifts as well. Okay, so if you're basically maybe you mouthed off to your grandma like a year ago and she's written you out of her will and you're just trying to get back into her good graces. So I will tell you, man, nothing says I love you, grandma, like a Movies Merica coffee mug. There you go. So the will that you get written back into may be your own grandma's will right there, and all it costs you is a measly $11 plus tax, all right, and shipping for this coffee mug right there to get written back into the will by dear old grandma. So there you go. It's worth your time. So check that out right there. Okay, so all right, enough of sharing that right there. We have got some more the end of Oak Street to talk about.
Dino DNA.
All right, let's double check something over here. I want to make sure here, and let's see here. Check it out. What I'm looking at is I'm checking out the live chat there on the Rumble side here, and Unfolding Joker brings up a good point. He said, you said there would be Speedos this year. And yeah, you better send her some coffee, Van. Yep. And maybe grandma will still give you that 78 Oldsmobile and a Christmas nutcracker from Holland. Woo, boy, there you go. Wow. Yeah, wow. You're listening to all kinds of like just vintage things that I could possibly get just by sending that coffee mug right there. So Unfolding Joker, sounds like Unfolding Joker's got the inside baseball, concerning my grandma here right there. So now I'm a little concerned that he's fixating on the Speedos, though. He really wants to get his hands on the Speedos there. I don't know if he's, just can't wait to, get the big mug Speedos on him. So when he's wandering around on the beach or something, I don't know. But hey, there you go. To each their own. Appreciate the commentary on that Unfolding Joker. I definitely admire that. And that 78 Oldsmobile. There you go. That's a vintage pull for sure right there. So and that Christmas nutcracker. Watch what nuts you put in that sucker right there, because you might be singing soprano. Okay, yeah, if you put the wrong nuts in that, there you go. Those things are no joke. All right, so there you go. All right, so let's move on to some random thoughts that I have about the end of Oak Street. And my first random thought I have is, I know that director David Robert Mitchell and producer J.J. Abrams were going for like this 80s look and sound, but the soundtrack to the end of Oak Street by Michael Giacchino is a rare swing and a miss by Giacchino. I don't associate the style of this score that he had in this movie to the 80s at all. I mean, it makes sense because the rest of the movie is a swing and a miss too. Okay, so at least it's consistent. At least it's following the pattern of this movie, where this movie overall is just a swing and a miss. All right, that it's a slip on the old banana peel. It's a banana peel. Banana peel? Let me rephrase. It's a banana in the tailpipe, okay? And yes, you are going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe on this one right here, okay? It's disappointing from Giacchino, though, because Michael Giacchino, the composer of this movie, he's usually excellent. Like with his scores from the Batman movie. Remember the one with Robert Pattinson here? That score from the Batman was fantastic. Okay. If you ever want to get pumped up, just blast that Batman score from Michael Giacchino there. Absolutely. It'll get you pumped up. It'll get you gigged for action. All right. I also did the scores for like the recent Planet of the Apes movies there from Matt Reeves, who also directed the Batman. Michael Giacchino also did the score for Rogue One, a Star Wars story, making him the only composer other than John Williams to do a Star Wars movie score. So, I mean, that's good company right there. That's legendary company there for Michael Giacchino being in the same sentence as John frickin' Williams right there, okay? And then another random thought I have about the end of Oak Street is the CGI for the dinosaurs leaves a lot to be desired. There are a few moments where they do look realistic and scary, like with the disgusting, massive, prehistoric white snake. And no, Tommy Lee is not in this movie. And then the Allosauruses that you see wandering around, they're the dinosaurs that look like kind of like the mini T-Rexes. That's the Allosauruses. And the dinosaurs in the low-budget movie Primitive War, okay, it's a whole nother movie that came out like last year or the year before. Primitive War is about like these Vietnam special ops soldiers, okay, like MAGV-SOG or Green Berets, special ops soldiers like that, having to fight dinosaurs. And that movie had some better CGI for the dinosaurs than the end of Oak Street, which had a reported approximate budget of $85 million compared to the $7 million, to the measly little $7 million budget for a Primitive War, which actually is a much better movie than the end of Oak Street. Okay. Not for the kiddies, though. Not for the kiddies. Do not let the kiddies watch Primitive War because the big calling card for Primitive War, the thing that makes people discuss Primitive War the most is it's actually the first movie where, because of its R rating, they're allowed to basically portray what dinosaur attacks would look like, in full, right? Like the full. Basically the whole spiel, right? Or basically the entirety of a dinosaur killing and eating somebody right there. So it's pretty bloody, pretty graphic. Okay, so again, not for like I said, because of that, not for the kiddies are right there. But yeah, if you ever wondered like what the Jurassic Park movies would look like with a hard R rating, Primitive War is your movie there. And it's cool because it takes place during Vietnam as well. So it's very cool for that reason whatsoever. So yeah, Primitive War, check it out there. It's streaming like on various streaming services there. So, but actually, I kind of want to look that up here real quick. Let's see here. Let's see, Primitive War. I want to do you guys a solid here, and I'll look it up for you. There we go. Save you some work. Primitive War. Okay, so it looks like that came out in 2025. All right, it's got Trisha Helfer in there. If you're a Battlestar Galactica fan, there. Oh, I forgot. It's got what's his face? Jeremy Piven. Yeah, it's got Jeremy Piven right there in that. You guys probably know him as Ari Gold from Entourage. There, probably the most right there. That's Jeremy Piven. So he's in it there as well. So let's see, where it's playing here. So yeah, you can watch. Yeah, so it's streaming on Hulu for free. It's streaming on, if you've got like the Disney Plus, Hulu, HBO Max package there, then yeah. So basically, it's playing on Hulu for free, with your Hulu streaming payment or whatever. Okay, or you can rent or buy it on Prime Video right there. So yeah, it's a great movie, very good movie. Primitive War there. All right. Let's do this, and let's go over here, and let's move on.
Dino DNA.
All right, so just want to let you guys know about the other show that I do every week here, and that is the Movies Merica spoiler warning show that I do every Thursday night, and that's a show where The difference between that show and this Sunday show, the big difference is Thursday, I don't worry about spoilers. Okay. If I drop a spoiler about the movie I'm talking about, I'm not going to worry about it because the show's literally called Movies Merica Spoiler Warning. Okay. So I warn you, even with the title of the show. And so how it works is, so today I'm talking about the end of Oak Street, right? So in a spoiler-free fashion, I'm reviewing it with no spoilers. So the Thursday show, I talk about the same movie I'm talking about today, which again is the end of Oak Street, of course. And so, as you might guess, what movie am I going to be talking about on Thursday night? The end of Oak Street, okay? But with spoilers involved, okay? So, yeah, if you've seen the end of Oak Street, hey, feel free to join me on Monday on Thursday nights for the Movies Merica Spoiler Warning show, and we could talk some end of Oak Street. I am personally not recommending you go see this movie, but maybe you disagree with me. Maybe you've already seen it, or you completely disregard what I say, and you go see it for whatever reason, and you decide that, hey, you it turns out you love the movie or you like the movie. And and then you can join me on Thursday night and you can get in a live chat and you can tell me, hey, Van, you're smoking crack. I mean, I don't know, like your taste in movies blows goats, man. Like, what are you talking about? This End of Oak Street movie is a great movie. I love it. Okay. So that's what the live chat is for on the Thursday night show. And quite frankly, this show here as well. I welcome disagreement. I welcome, anybody, not having the same take about stuff like this, on things like that. I will not be I will not be like a Dr. Evil. I will not be like, I will punish you for your insolence, you peasant. Okay, no. Be as insolent as you want. I don't expect everybody to agree with me. Not at all. Okay. So anyway, back to the Movies Merica Spoiler Warning show that I'm trying to tell you. That's the whole point of what I'm saying here, is that show comes on Thursday night. And that show comes on Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Mountain, and 4 p.m. Pacific. Okay, so basically 7 Eastern, 6 Central, 5 Mountain, and 4 Pacific. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, 1, 2, 3, 4. I love to count. All right. So, Movies Merica Spoiler Warning, Thursday night. And even if you haven't seen the movie, one thing that I ask people to do, which costs you no money whatsoever and costs you like 10 seconds to do, is when the links become available for the Thursday show, like the links that you click on to, fire the show up, when the show comes on, right, at the times I just told you, okay? So if you, when the show starts at those times I just told you, if you click on the link and then just mute it and just have it playing in the background or wherever, like while you're off and doing, whatever you need to do, that helps me out because that counts as watch minutes to YouTube and Rumble. To them, they think that you're watching the show, okay? And so that helps me out there with the algorithm and all of that stuff right there. So yeah, if you would be so kind to do that, it's a big help to me and very little effort for you right there, of just clicking on the link when the show starts there and just going off and doing whatever you need to do. Because I get it, people are busy, right? You gotta watch your kid, got to change the tire. You're on the road. You're driving your 18-wheeler. Maybe you're making meatloaf for the family. Okay, you don't have time to watch the show, but you can just takes like 0.03 seconds to click on a link, hit the mute button, and go off and do your thing. There you go. So that's all I ask, and I ask that for like all my shows too, like the Sunday show, the Thursday show. If you don't have time to watch the show, just click on the link, fire the show up, mute it, and go live life there. Now, it would be fantastic. I mean, the better option would be if you could watch the show. But again, like I said, I know people just don't have the time all the time to do that right there. Okay, so that the whole point of that is I just wanted to let you know about my Thursday night show. So hope I catch you there in the live chat, like Unfolding Joker and Bane of the Shills are on the show on Thursday night. Okay. All right, let's talk about some more. The end of Oak Street.
Dino DNA.
All right, there, of course, you saw the late, great Sam Neill. We just recently lost Sam Neill there, unfortunately. So, but great actor. So yeah, go on, go watch some Sam Neill movies there. So like the Jurassic Park 1 and Jurassic Park 3, and another great Sam Neill movie is he's in the movie Hunt for Red October. Great movie with him in there. He's also in what is the Event Horizon. Great Sam Neill movie there as well. But I'm getting distracted. So right now let's get into what is some people's favorite segment in this on the Sunday Movies America show. And that segment is is this movie a woke after school special? Okay. I know I flubbed that up there, but but the segment is called Is This a Woke After School Special? So just in case we have some youngins, all right, some childrens, some youths in the audience right here, as Vinny would say, some youths. You may not know what an after school special is, okay? So that may not mean a whole lot to you when with that question. Is this a woke after school special? So let me explain to you really, really quickly what an after school special was. Okay. So what they was back in the late 70s all the way up through like the early 90s. They had these shows. They were like 30 minutes long. And from the name of this, from the description of the show, they would come on after school, right? So, kids would be running home, running in the door. Hey, mom, can I have some Sunny D? Oh, sure, kids. Hey, sit on down and I'll get you some Sunny D. Thanks, Mom. I'm going to watch some TV. Okay. All right. And you'd sit in front of the TV and you think you're going to watch Gilligan's Island or Dukes of Hazzard or, whatever, Leave It to Beaver. I know I'm naming out some really old shows. I know I get it. Showing my age. But, you turn on the TV and you expect to see Gilligan's Island and suddenly it's this after school special show. And the after school specials, there are these shows that were put on to teach kids valuable lessons in life. Okay, don't smoke, don't drink, all right, don't do drugs, all right, don't backsass your parents. If you're walking on the sidewalk in the neighborhood and some creepy old guy looking like Joe Biden rolls up in a van with no windows and rolls down the window and goes, "Hey kids, come on over here. I've got free candy for you. And something else, too." All right. Run as fast as you can, children. Okay. Valuable lessons like that. Okay. That's what after school specials were. Okay. So, anyway, I belabored the point on that. I said I was going to explain those briefly. I went way past briefly. So, anyway, is The End of Oak Street a woke after school special? Well. It is in that it made sure to awkwardly plop in a couple of lesbian ladies for the 80s. The kind of 80s movies that they're trying to harken back to with The End of Oak Street would have never had a couple of Scissor Sisters, as main characters portrayed in this movie. Okay, not at all. This is basically writer, director David Robert Mitchell clumsily injecting LGBTFU into this movie, of course, under orders by the Rainbow Borg. That's supposed to be an homage to 80s thriller movies. Now, I'm sure Mitchell feels that he's correcting the 80s, since movies in this genre in the 80s didn't have these types of characters in them because the overwhelming population back then had IQ levels high enough that they would have never been okay with their kids, much less them, being indoctrinated by a movie infected by the Rainbow Borg. Mitchell is doing his part for the Rainbow Borg to try to get people to buy the lie that there are more LGBTFU people out there than there really is. All right. Pop culture, let's face it, I mean, we all know this by now. Pop culture is a very, very important brainwashing tool for said Rainbow Borg. If you have more than a double-digit IQ, you won't fall for it, though. And the only rainbow you'll be into will be enjoying a tasty bag of Skittles while watching a much better movie than the end of Rainbow Road. Okay, so all that to answer the question: is this a woke after-school special? And so, in that regard, yes, it is. Absolutely, right there. It didn't need to be that. But yeah, the writer director unfortunately just thought that it was his way of paying tribute at the altar of the Rainbow Borg, in which he worships frequently, obviously. So, all right, let's move on.
Dino DNA.
Okay, real quick here, let me double check something here on my side. There we go. Looks like we've got that all good to go right there. And okay, cool. And again, hey, feel free to get in the live chat here as the show is going on. Just like Unfolding Joker and Bane of the Shills is in here. Okay, so if you guys are like, if we have some lurkers in here, and lurkers, just in case you don't know, if you're not up on like live streaming parlance and live streaming jargon, lurkers are basically people that have the show on, but they're just watching the show or just listening to the show. They're not like getting in the live chat and just at the very least putting a thumbs up in there or a poop emoji or anything like that. They're not doing like what Unfolding Joker and Bane of the Shills did, which is going above and beyond and being true warriors and getting into the live chat and at least putting something in a live chat. So once you take some initiative and go above and beyond and get in the live chat and put something in there, you are no longer a lurker. Okay, you are a badass mofo. Okay, so if anybody's lurking out there, hey, feel free, please, feel free to get into the live chat on Rumble or YouTube, and take the 0.01 seconds it takes to get in there, and give me a thumbs up, poop emoji, or just say hi, or screw you, Van, or something like that. All right, so no one's expecting you to write War and Peace or the Gettysburg Address in a live chat. Hell, I don't do that, not at all. So there you go. And Unfolding Joker right there says, "Fook, yeah." Says he's painting. All right, he's painting. All right, sweet. Hey, what are you painting there, Unfolding Joker? I mean, you've got my attention. I'm just kind of curious to see what you're painting. I'm assuming it's not finger paint or anything like that. I'm assuming it's and oh man, he's still on that Speedos thing. Yeah, he's still on that Speedos tip. Says demand Speedos, people. There you go. Oh, he's my home. See, I'm over here. I'm going the artistic route. I'm thinking. I'm picturing Picasso. All right. I'm I'm picturing Renoir. Okay, over here, and he's like, "That's my home, you dumbass." I'm painting my home. I'm doing something more utilitarian. There you go. So, all right, I got you. All right, I'm with you there. I'm with you right there. Okay, outstanding. So good to hear you that you're painting your home right there. So, and that's what I'm talking about, guys. Unfolding Joker, he's painting his house, and he still makes time to get into the live chat right there. So, what are you doing? There you go. You can just get in the live chat and say something right there. So, I know. I lay that guilt on pretty thick, don't I? I know. And believe it or not, I'm not Jewish. And I lay the guilt on very, very thick. So think you can spread it on some nice toast right there. Yum, yum, yum. Tasty, tasty. Yum, yum. I love it. Okay. So what do we got going on now? What should we do as we move on? I know. But first this.
Dino DNA.
All right. So my final thoughts on the end of Oak Street here is, quite frankly, point blank, see better dinosaur movies like the first two Jurassic Park movies, Peter Jackson's King Kong, which I know it's a King Kong movie, but it does have like cool dinosaurs in it, or the aforementioned Primitive War there. Okay, again, Primitive War, not for the kiddies, not for the kiddos right there. Okay, not for them right there. Unless you want to pay thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on, child therapy because you've warped their mind right there. You could have just kept your kids away from that movie that you paid $8 for, or, you watched on Hulu, and saved yourself thousands of dollars in child therapy right there. So no Primitive War for the kiddies, for the youths. Okay, there you go. And that's my final thoughts on the end of Oak Street right there. Don't even bother. I mean, maybe like if you're at home and it's 3:00 in the morning, you're laying on a couch, and you wake up in the middle of the night, like, I fell asleep on the couch. Oh man, I'm so tired. And you got Hulu on, and the End of Oak Street's on Hulu or something like that, maybe watch it then, okay, because it's on anyway. But I would not go into any more effort than that to go watch this movie. It's meh. It's woke. It's got an agenda to it. Okay, so it's so yeah. Don't bother with it whatsoever. There's plenty of other better dinosaur movies out there to watch than this right here. Okay, so all right. So as I get ready to wrap up this episode right here, just want to thank everybody for watching this show. Everyone that was watching live on Rumble or YouTube. Special shout out to Unfolding Joker and Bane of the Shills here for joining me in the live chat. Hopefully they, among many others, could join me on Thursday nights as we talk about this movie even more, okay, which I will, skewer this movie even more on Thursday night with pleasure. There you go. But real quick here, again, before I end the show, let me implore you, let me borderline beg you to follow me on the platforms that your dear old Movies Merica here is on. I'm on X under @Movies Merica. I'm on Facebook. I have a Movies Merica group, a Movies Merica page. I have my Van Ebert profile there on Facebook. So if you would friend me on those, I think that's what you do on Facebook, right? Yeah, okay. And on Twitter, if you would follow me on Twitter under @Movies Merica, or sorry, X. I'm on YouTube. Well, I'm on YouTube too. So that one, a little harder to follow me there. If you look for like Till Death Podcast Network, because that's a channel that I'm under on YouTube there, then you'll see my episodes there. Or you can just type in like Movies Merica and the name of a movie. So probably the fastest one is Movies Merica F1. There you go. Less to type. There you go. And check it out right there. And follow me on YouTube that way. I'm also on Rumble. So if you look up Movies Merica on Rumble, you're going to see that there's 3 Movies Merica accounts on Rumble. Please, if you would, follow or subscribe to all 3 of them. That would be fantabulous, okay? I'm on Gab, if you're a Gab guy, Gab gal, okay? And then also I'm on the Gram. I'm on Instagram there as well. So if you ever, get sick of checking out, videos of hotties, total smoke shows, shaking what God gave them, and you want to check out something a little different, then yeah, check out, Movies Merica on Instagram. Don't ask me how I know there's hotties shaking what God gave them on Instagram. Yeah, a buddy told me. Yeah, okay. All right. I'm trying to think of anywhere else I'm on there. So I think that wraps it up. So yeah, follow me on all those platforms. That would be fantastic right there. It would mean a lot. And again, it doesn't cost you anything. It'll take you about 0.05 seconds to do the following right there. Good to go right there. So, all right, let me double check something here. And let's do this here. All right. And okay. Oh, there we go. Hey, Unfolding Joker says he dropped a new commercial and swing by when you get a chance here. So yeah, sounds like if you look for Unfolding Media, and is that, I'm assuming that's on Rumble there as opposed to YouTube right there. If you search for, I'm going to say, correct me if I'm wrong, Unfolding Joker, if you search for Unfolding Media on Rumble, here, let me just do this. Yes, for Unfolding Media. I'm going to go on Rumble and do this. Unfolding Media. Ah, there it is. I just clicked right past it. There you go. Unfolding Media. There we go. Unfolding Media. There we go. Yep. All right. So, yep. And Unfolding Joker just confirmed only on Rumble. Okay. So, yeah, look up Unfolding Media, all one word, okay, on Rumble there and check out Unfolding Joker stuff right there. He's got a new commercial that's coming later next. No, he just dropped a new commercial, and he's going to have another one coming later on this week right there. So there you go. Check that out right there. Absolutely. And again, like I said, Bane of the Shills has, look up Bane of the Shills on Rumble and YouTube. There you go. So, but anyway, again, I want to thank everybody for watching the show live, everybody who's watching the recording of this show. It means a lot to me. Check out my Thursday show on Thursday night there as well, and send the link to this episode and any of my many, many other episodes to anybody who even suspects is in the movies right there. So, but that being said, like I always say, get out there, people. Those movies aren't going to watch themselves. See ya.
Howdy, my movie maniacs and my fellow freedom-fueled film fanatics. Would you do me a favor and check me out at solo.to/Movies Merica? That's where you would go for a one-stop shop for all the links that have to do with me, Movies Merica. And then also, if you want to check out the audio-only podcast versions of my Movies Merica live episodes, that's my spoiler-free reviews that I do on Sunday, you can go to moviesmerica.com or Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, places like that. And then, actually, if you would also check me out on the social media sites like X and Instagram and Facebook and Gab. And I'm on those locations all under @Movies Merica. So it is very easy to find me out there, all right? So get to it, everybody. All right, thanks for watching. Later.
Hey guys, don't leave the video quite yet. Okay, I've got a popo. They're coming after me, and I don't have much time to tell you, but you need to like and subscribe this video right here, down below. It's right down there. It's just waiting. It's waiting for you down there, okay? And make sure you watch these videos over here too. You'll be doing me a big favor. I'm gonna be in handcuffs pretty soon. All right, thanks for watching.